Now, in yesterday's extra time, we had a question coming in asking Frank to compile his best five-a-side team from the players that he played with at Chelsea. And as we welcome Craig and Shaka into the show, we thought we would open that up to you as well, boys. Not just Chelsea, Craig, but your old career. Give us your team.
Well, who did Frank pick?
Well, not you.
Well, I know that. I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking for selection into the Frenchman's team. I was just intrigued. That was all. Interested.
Right, get on with it.
Okay. So, obviously I couldn't put the big man in, Shaq. So I went for, there was a lot of good goalkeepers, but I went for Andy Goram. I went back to the national team, and I think Andy just pipped it over Jim Leighton for me, and he was a tremendous player for Rangers for many a year. Great goalkeeper, great shot stopper, so Andy was in goal. And then I just filtered it with attacking players, some who could defend, some who couldn't. Ruud Gullit has to be in there because he was one of the greatest players of his generation, for sure. Gianfranco Zola was one of the best five-a-side players and 11-a-side players for that matter. But when you got him on a five-a-side pitch, he could showcase all those talents that he had. You really couldn't put a tackle in on him. Then I had, who did I have? I had Henrik Larsson, and I had Gianluca Vialli. It was a toss between him and Ravanelli, but I went for Gianluca for his talents and putting the ball in the net. And obviously Henrik Larsson was one of the most talented players to ever come out of Sweden, along with Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So I had to leave a few guys out, but that would be my very attacking, has to be said, five-a-side team.
Blimmin' heck, Craig, you took it seriously. You're feeling all right?
Well, I didn't. Well, I have to. Didn't take it seriously. I got a text message about 5 minutes before we did this segment, and I just went, "Best bash, bosh, 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 bosh." Have that. So I've definitely left some players out.
I tell you what, though, that's a bit special, mate. That's a good team.
Yeah. Well, I thought about putting Paul Lambert in for his holding mid, because he was one of the best holding midfielders of his generation. If you wanted to shore it up, but I thought, well, that's a bit boring. And I don't do it boring. And I say you got people like Di Matteo. There's a host of players. I mean, I was lucky. Or maybe they were lucky. I don't know. But that's the team I've selected.
I'm guessing Gullit is your player manager, yeah?
No, I'm his manager, and after he does a job for me, I'm going to leave him out in a very important game, and then I'm going to sell him. Maybe that'll sound familiar.
Who would you have as your manager, Craig? The best manager you work with? Would it be Jim Smith?
You're taking this too serious now, aren't you?
I knew I pushed my luck too far.
I don't know, it's a difficult one because I enjoy working with Glenn Hoddle, and for somewhere down the line for Glenn, it sort of petered out, but he wasn't the greatest man manager because, it's a difficult skill to have. I just thought Jim, from being old school, Jim was magnificent. And I would say Jim Smith and Wim Jansen at Celtic, who we had great success for 12 months with, but different types. But I would say probably those two would spring to mind, yes.
Let's go to Shaka, and I have to reveal that Shaka forgot Dwight Yorke in his first team, so he has been a late substitute into this one. I think Trevor Sinclair was sacrificed, Shaq.
Yeah, listen, I wasn't told that international teammates also counted. I thought it was just club, leaning on Frank and Frank Leboeuf having to pick from Chelsea.
You need to be told everything. You're not the brightest. I mean, work it out, lad. Your best teammates
listen, I'm just telling you what I was told. I was told
you were told best
club teammates. So I went with club teammates, and then that changed. So I included Dwight. That's all. Trevor's on the bench.
Do you want somebody to come up to Boston and write it down for you in a piece of paper or what? Best team. Even Stevie Nicol could work that out. Who was your best teammates?
That's not the text I got. But to your point, I'll just go into my team rather than listen to Craig ramble on. I picked myself in goal because I won the appearance money, let's be honest. And then in front of me, I have Rio Ferdinand, who easily the best defender I played with, and also the best pass of the ball out to the back, so I needed him in front of me. Frank Lampard, I don't think I need to explain that, given his record. And then Alan Shearer, the Premier League's all-time leading goal scorer as my point man. And as you mentioned, Dan, I included Dwight. Both for his goals that we saw from him at Manchester United, but in the latter stages of his career, and in particular with the national team, he was able to sit in midfield. He actually sat in the middle of the back four at times. So for his goals and his versatility, Dwight was included. Unfortunately, that meant Trevor Sinclair, who equally versatile, had to take a spot on the bench.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.